Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. All is well. Good. So, what's going on, everyone? Stefan here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's 20th of July, Monday, and this is trading review number 9, if I'm not wrong. Either 8 or 9. I will see. I will put it directly in the title when I know exactly which one it is. I have a count. So I wasn't even sure if I want to record this, but I said, okay, let's do it because it has to be done. It's something that I promised that I'm gonna do. So I said, okay, let's log it in. So I got back very late last night. I was away for the weekend to visit family and spend time with them. And on the way back last night, my flight was delayed for about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, almost on the edge to 3 hours, which made me arrive very late. And for this reason, I lost any chance to come with the train or with the bus, with any transportation, meaning back in town. So I had to wait for the first bus around 3:30 a.m. to bring me home. And I made it home around 5, I think. In the end, slept until 10, 10:30, woke up, got some stuff done around the house, some chores, some admin stuff. And by the time I ate and I sat down at my desk, New York was already opening. So let's get into the charts, see exactly what happened today. Not planning to spend a lot of time. I just want to log in on point, exactly what happened and what I've traded. I have started a new Lucid 50K Flex. Is it Flex? Yeah, Lucid Flex 50K challenge. So let's get into this and see what happens, see what happened today. So we were coming after last week. Let's start on the weekly. We were coming after a bearish close last week. Finally, we managed to break below this level here where we showed multiple times. We show support around this area here. Finally, we broke. Thursday, we had a bearish close here, and afterwards, Friday, we had continuation. I was away both Thursday and Friday. I did not trade. So I was looking at this price action today, and I said to myself, okay, we are bearish. We closed the weekly bearish. We broke the level that we're talking about, support. However, being Monday, I didn't think that we're just gonna continue with another third candle in a row, actually, for that matter, fourth, because this one was also bearish close. So when I came into the session, I just marked my levels. I went and I marked my pre-market highs and lows, previous days highs and lows, 8 a.m. highs and lows. I'm not sure exactly what this is here, or I know. Closing price Friday. And basically, when I got at the charts, the price was trading somewhere around, 1 second. It was trading exactly where you see my first setup. It's the easiest way to put it. Maybe a couple of minutes before that, because I didn't just jump on the chart and jump into a trade. So let's see how we open and what happened. I will go into 5 minutes. I have a few more levels marked here, which they were levels of interest for me. And this is the 50% of this bearish price leg. I'll show it right now. So it's this one here. This is the 50% level, is the dashed line, yellow 50%. And if you notice closely, it also pretty much coincides with previous day's high, which is basically previous day's high is this candle's high here. So I thought price would be likely, before doing anything towards the downside, before setting into a trend towards the downside once again, I thought we are going to have some continuation. So we opened. I'm gonna keep it in 5 minutes because I want to skip fast until we come close to where I actually took my first trade. We open strong upside. We are taking pre-market highs. Bear in mind that we have already traded Asia, kind of consolidation. London started slowly to impulse higher with clear structure. And as we came into New York, we are having again an impulse higher here. We have no news for the day. Have here Forex calendar. Monday is bank holiday in JPY. Nothing to do with USD, but anyways, nothing for USD. And yeah, first 5 minutes candle. impulse higher, second candle, just indecision candle, slightly bearish with a bearish close. We have a wick also to the upside. Another candle higher, but mind you, we are not tapping the previous day's high. We're not tapping this level, and we start to reverse. So at this time, I was waiting basically to see if we can come there because I wanted to take shorts from this level. But since we didn't tap any of these levels, I said I'm gonna keep on looking for longs. And let's see what happens. I will explain more in the later candles. So we are starting to come down. We have an initial reaction here that says absolutely nothing to me. Yes, we did take the pre-market highs, but now we are looking for some opposing liquidity to take. And at the moment, we didn't take anything meaningful. This is not a meaningful pull for me. This is not a meaningful pull. The first meaningful pull of liquidity for me was the 8 a.m. candles low over here. 8 a.m. candles low being marked over here. You can see that's 8 a.m. New York time. My charts are set now in New York time for the avoidance of any doubt. It's easier, it's transparent for everyone to understand. Even if my time zone is slightly different, it doesn't really matter. I know exactly what's the conversion from my time to New York time. So we're coming down. We swept the pre-market highs, and I don't want to be in longs and I don't want to be in shorts because I do not know where this is going to stop. And in my experience in the past few weeks, every trade that I've taken trying to guess the direction and trade towards the pool of liquidity didn't end up quite well. So I said, I'm going to try to stop for a second trading towards the pool of liquidity. So I'm going to let it reach the pool of liquidity and afterwards try to frame my trade. So let's see what happens next. We are coming slowly down, and we are taking the 8 a.m. lows. Now, over here, normally I would jump into a trend straight away, like I would take a position without confirmation. But because I didn't know exactly if we want to come and take also some of these levels here, because I saw the staircase going up, I didn't know if we want to come here, we want to come here. I didn't put an order directly to get me into a trade here at 8 a.m. low. So I waited a bit. I saw this candle first bullish, and when I saw this engulfing, this first engulfing, that's where I took my position. I don't remember exactly, but I think my stops, my stops went exactly here where the setup, bottom of the setup is. And let's see what happens. We start to react very, very nicely. I'm in profit. I was in with contract 2 micros. And I looked at this and I said, okay, I want to see also how the 5 minute looks. So I was looking in 1 minute and in 5 minutes in the same time. And I wanted to see if we can start to have a structure shift. We start to react again nicely. And ultimately, we are actually coming down. It's my bad. I thought I was talking about a different setup. Let's have a look. We're coming down. And if I'm not wrong, 1 second, I got stopped out. I need to put the executions on. I got stopped out in this candle here. Allow me 1 moment, because I believe I need to add the executions. Give me 1 second so I can add this here, because it's much more easier to see it clearly. So I can adjust this execution labels. Okay, why can I not see the execution? I'm in replay mode, so you can't work with real words in position. I don't know. So they won't allow me to see my positions. Okay, that's fine. It's okay. So I think the first trade actually stopped somewhere over here, around 9. So I entered at 003 and it stopped at around 945 exactly. No, it's actually very, very correct. I stopped exactly in this candle. That means that's where my stop was hit. So my original stop was here, but I adjusted the stop, and this is what I've been taking out. So I've been taking out for 2 micros, about 55 points. That was about $220 down. We are coming down, and I looked at this and I said, okay, are we ready to come down, given the fact that we were looking like this pretty much at that time? And I looked at this and I said, I actually went in 4 hours and I said, we are at the previous 4-hour low. And I think we are also having a block of orders here. And I said, I don't want to sell this. One, it's Monday. Two, we are having here a bullish structure, even though we are in a higher time frame bearish structure. I basically used my intuition to assess and realize, are we likely to have a reaction, even though it's just a reaction, not a full reversal, but are we likely to react from here, or can we just slam through it? The truth is that both options were absolutely possible, but because I trade discretionary, I decided to long again. So I decided to long again over here once we took the 4-hour lows. At the very first step, if you see this magenta line, purple, it's exactly the 4-hour lows. So I've decided to enter into a trade when I saw a bit of confirmation. After I've been taking this out, decided to enter here. I entered exactly at that candle. We are going higher again. I think I actually added a contract. I opened with 2 contracts here. I added another 1 contract here. And the price went and it swept this high here. And I was aware of that. I looked at it and I said, okay, you need to be careful. Why? Because we are actually at the 50% of this price leg and we swept an internal 1 minute high, which more often than not, when we are bearish, especially when we are in a trend like this, we can come to the downside very, very easy. So, which is actually what ended up happening. But luckily for me, because I entered here, and then again I added here another contract, I entered with 2 and 1, I have managed my stops to break even. So I didn't take a loss in this trade. And I've gotten out exactly here. First entry was somewhere here. Second entry was somewhere here. I've gotten out for break even. Let's see what has happened next. We are coming to the downside. We are tapping again and we are sweeping this low. We are giving signs that we want to sweep this low. But more importantly, what I was doing at this time, I was looking at YM here. And the whole idea was to try to analyze, to do a bit of analysis, not only with YM, but also with ES. But YM was at an important pool of liquidity. And why is this important for me? It's important for me because I'm a liquidity discretionary trader and my trades are framed around liquidity. Analyzing instruments using relative strength can help you a lot of times, just as well as it can induce you in error, and it can basically make you count that one instrument is going to react based on what other instrument does. And that's really dangerous. But that's why you have a stop loss. So I was looking here and I said, okay, if NASDAQ drops, YM can react. Yes, it is possible. But YM is at previous week's low. And the NASDAQ did not print any lows for the day. We did not even get to Asia lows, let alone previous week's low. So I said, NASDAQ looks strong. YM is at previous week's low. ES in the same time. Let's go here in micro ES. ES was just also taking all this trend line liquidity here. So I said, okay, I am going to long again. I'm going to long again and I'm going to long in the NASDAQ again. Based on the fact that we created 3 touches here, 1, 2, 3, and based on the fact that YM swept previous week's low. I could have longed YM very well. I actually put the risk to reward tool here. I put the risk to reward tool here. You can look, I will go forward in the candles, but I didn't. So I took here a long in the NASDAQ. Mind you, at this time I was already down around $220, so I wanted to make sure that I protect capital. I've been taken out in this candle for break even, and I waited for a bit more structure. At the same time, YM, what it was doing, YM came below previous week's low. We swept also these consolidation levels here, and we started to nicely have here what? We have a gap down and we have a gap up. This is a turn with the disrespect of this gap here. So when we are having this, price is likely to reverse and seek liquidity on the opposite direction. So I came here and I said, okay, being being given that Nasdaq looked way stronger than YM, I said I want a long Nasdaq. I don't want a long YM or ES. And I'm mainly trading Nasdaq anyways. I don't want to get into other instruments. So let's see what happens next. I looked at this candle and I said, okay, I started to feel very, very frustrated. Why? I was taken out of this position. Notice the candles, the size of the candles are increasingly bigger than this ones here as we came down. Corrective price action, and now we expand. I looked at these candles and I said, okay, I'm being taken out here and now we explode just almost 100 points in 4 minutes. That could have been my trade, me done for the day. Instead of that, even though I was really frustrated, I managed to stay composed and I came back and I said, okay, we are looking like we can have a retracement here. And I entered in this candle or in the next one, I think. I entered here in this candle. And price starts to go higher. And at the moment that we took, was it that I exited here? I don't think I exited here. I actually let it a few more candles. I exited here in this candle. I exited right over here in this candle. So I exited, and now I will try to put the executions on because we don't need a replay mode anymore. Leave. Let me see if I can get the executions on. Okay, you can actually see these are the executions. So I exited here, and this was a 46 to 12, that's 54 plus 12. That was a 66 point move for a 3 contracts. And I think it was about $400 or something like that. So all in all, managed to close at 50,150. My biggest takeaway, I would say, for today isn't really about the setup itself. Yes, I did trend it against the major trend, but I had a clear narrative in mind. A lot of people would say, how can you trade a lot against the major trend? You don't know what you're doing. You have to have context on that. It is Monday. We came after 3 days going down. Not everything is major trend, major trend. Oh, I'm not going to ever trade. Plus, I was very mindful with my stop losses and my size. Trading while you're tired doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a bad day. This is what I learned after today. I was really, really tired during the session, and this is the reason that I actually stopped. After 5 hours of sleep and having stayed through airports for about 10, 12 hours yesterday, I was extremely tired. And I realized that I can trade, but I need to be very cautious. And I actually traded against the major trend in a day when I was not necessarily fit to trade. So it is possible. I don't want to make it an outlier or anything of this kind, but I'm just being aware of what's happening. Now, if I would started to force trades after the first loss that I took, today probably would have ended completely different, perhaps with the account being blown. But I'm very, very happy with the way I managed the next 2 trades, and I closed at break even once the trade started to go in my favor, and I think I'm going to start to do this more and more often. Now, I was thinking, what would be the best? What would be the best when I look at this? What would be the best way to approach the days when I am trading against the major trend? And the only thing that I came up with, and the most important that I can see here, is that if I wait for a liquidity pool to be tapped, more often than not, there is going to be at least a reaction. Because if you actually look here, I have only taken reaction trades. My targets have never been reached. Look where my targets were. My targets were all the way up here, all the way up here. Let's say this trade, yeah, perhaps I didn't manage to extend it, but I'm sure that I was willing to hold it for more. So I was holding every trade for a higher time frame level, which was this previous day's high or the 50% retracement of the bearish leg. But we never came there. But look, you can end up profitable even if you are trading tired, even if you are trading against the major trend, and even if you are not getting anything but a small chunk of the move. You can do that if you understand how liquidity works. And this is the way I trade. I hope you find this insightful. I hope you could learn something out of it. I'm still not 100% recovered, and perhaps my coherence is not the very best. But all I can say is thank you for watching, and I think I would like to hear your opinion on this one. Have you ever noticed, for example, like in your trading, like your worst trading decisions happen when you're tired, distracted, or trying to force a session that you probably shouldn't even be trading? Have you noticed this? And let me know in the comments if this worked for you or not. For me today, it was an outlier, and I don't want to make it a rule. Trading when you're tired shouldn't be recommended. You should stay completely away. But let me know how does it work for you? Does it work well if you are trying to stay consistent? Because basically this is a matter between consistency and trying to step away when you know you have to step away. I'm trying to be consistent. I didn't necessarily want it to be today at the charts, but I came, I traded, I've done my review, I'm doing now my trading recap and all my thoughts. I've done my journaling, and right now I'm just gonna go shoot and get my evening job done as well. So I'm gonna go to deliver some orders for people who are hungry. So I hope you found this review useful in any shape or form. I'd really appreciate if you find anything that you could take out of this and learn, perhaps something new. You could drop a like or a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.